Check, check. All right. Mike always does this. All right. So yeah, it's the start of a new approach to my process, which is going to be just making it more fun um, for me to like get in reps in quotations. So yeah, this is just going to be a review, actually a replay session. So this is going to be a replay session of just the last week, and then I'll do my game plan after so that I can just. I missed a lot of the PA, so yeah. um, yeah, let's just go to the daily. We'll scroll back some to Monday to Sunday. Let's see if it actually did it. Oh. All right. This is not right. Monday. Hopefully that's right. Looks good enough. All right. So yeah, we kind of had that. Why I'm finally take that the actual tariff announcement high. This was like the real swing high. And if we go to oh yeah, we had a holiday. That's kind of why it's weird. We had on the Dow Jones regular stock chart. Of course, we took that out already. And then we had Dow Jones come up and take it here with just a clear difference in strength there as we went for that high, and then we had suddenly NASDAQ come up and diverge. So yeah, that's the context going into the week. We've displaced to the downside, but then failed to shift though, based on the daily. On the 4-hour, obviously there's some shifting, but still failing here. And yeah, we made some relative equal lows. And basically some smooth lows here on NASDAQ, some relative equal lows here on that displacement candle. So there's just a pool of liquidity on basically everybody on to the downside. But at the same time, we had gone lower. So yeah, and we made a lot of SMT here. Like, oh, I guess NASDAQ took that out. Okay. Yeah, nothing super clear, but this long here, does that make sense? Let's look. So we did have SMT here as ES came back down to the new week opening gap. So yeah, we did have some like strength there in NASDAQ. Um, and this was like an old SMT level, so that's, I've seen this a lot where we actually reference these. If you can see right there, we basically hit the CE of what that was bouncing on the order block. And these are all relative equal lows, so you can really see why it would bounce there. Not saying it would reverse, but it's just like it's possible for just for a little bit of a reaction at least. So that's somewhere you could probably be a little risky, but just knowing that we've already, yeah, we just have a lot of SMT, and if there's a change in character down here, you'd want to see NASDAQ be weaker here, which it was into a key time. So literally right at into 8:30, boom. So right into 8:30, we come down into that level. NASDAQ shifts weak right into the 8:30 level, which is like my playbook perfect. Like that's exactly just what I look for is the 8:30 level. It's meaningful time. Um, and it even does it versus ES too, and ES was going deeper. So you should actually look for. You could have gone long into the open here, all holding this order block. It shifted, so you should have some confidence there, at least, for like this high. If there's a London high, just the next key level. So if there was any divergence here, I think I probably would have held to 10:30 because there's a divergence there, and that's not what you want to see, because we could just get short-term pullbacks. But this would have been an amazing risk reward there, and this is like exactly what to look for. Let's look at the last 7 days of flows too, just because that's exactly what we've done. What day was this? This is Friday. So we're just starting on Friday to get an idea of like what we would have been thinking going into the next week anyways. Let me pull up Notion because it should be Notioning this up. Week review. Oops. Yeah, you could have gone long. Just anywhere on top of this order block. And then an easy target is just the fair value gap. So easy 4-hour trade, could have held it for more, and then even more, but likely would have taken it off. Just because it's like, okay, I don't know how much of a balance is really going to be here. We could even, we got relative equal highs up here, so maybe we do come all the way up there. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So yeah, long opportunity, change in character, SMT on Friday. I may actually write this up. But actually, to be honest, you could have risked from like London High, and the real ideal target would have been 3.4. I don't know how I got 4 before. But yeah, you can just see that it's holding this order block very clearly. I wonder what just the CE of that looks like. That's interesting. Oops. Here's how Friday played out. Let me look at the flows. All right, this was the 23rd, so we want to see the 23rd. Okay, so yeah, flows were very bullish. So interesting, yeah. Flows supported the move, and the flows were bullish even though we dipped down. So that quick retrace back up into where we were the prior day makes a lot of sense because this is the prior day, and you can see we did retrace back into the 830 level on the prior day. All right. Yeah, bullish flows. Let me look at Qs. And let me see if I can get this screen up on there. Application, display capture. Uh, Good enough. All right. So yeah, this is definitely the long setup for me. We had we had everything. We had a high time frame area. I'm just curious to see where we bounce. Oh my gosh, dude. Great. So here's the SMT. Oh, what just happened? Looks like it got smaller, man. Did I just do full screen? Dude, I don't know what happened, but don't know if I like it. Huh. All right. Either way, here are the flows. Just from the last week from now. So just cues. We should really make this a drop down. It's so big. All right. These should actually go in here. All right. All right, let's just do a quick breakdown of the flow just to get it over with so I don't have to think about keep going back for each day. So Friday, which was the 23rd, we had the move down Thursday night with both flows. Even in even in the tide, it was. I mean, we had some bear, but it's like we opened up lower and we had both flows, so like boom, nice bounce, kind of back to where they had accumulated those. So that's cool to see that starting to work out. And then into the day that we bounced, we didn't have like the most bullish flows. We were pretty uh, selly, um, but then in SPY, I mean, it was pretty bullish, and then a little bit bearish. So kind of a mixed bag there. Low volume compared to the day before. Um, Similar situation here on the Dow Jones. Russell always kind of swampy. Friday, pretty bearish, but the volume was in the calls until they sold. So that's a little bearish too. Funny enough though, price did go up. And then on Qs, we also had some bear flows, which is just weird to see that. So volume really low again though. So not a day to like take the flows didn't end up playing, but that makes sense because of the lack of volume. I mean, look at even on the tide, like look at this day compared to this day, and then even the next day. So you could argue that these flows actually haven't played out, and they were very heavy bullish, and this move is just beginning. So same thing here, like even on the chart, it's like this is a trade that I would take, and I would have probably gone out early, but this could have even been a trade all the way up to into this daily, or even this the relative equal highs that I saw into here. Yeah, so right into that daily. I don't know if that daily is actually relevant. This doesn't look right, but it's there. Must be on different a newer candle. But yeah. So yeah, I mean this all makes sense. Fair value gap. Um, but yeah, kind of a mixed bag on the Friday flows. Um, so yeah, going into Monday is the tricky part. So let's look. We haven't taken out any key levels yet, so YM looks like it is being stronger. So honestly, I got distracted there. All right. So yeah, I'd actually for a real reversal, I'd really. I mean, you could be looking for any. I mean, this was a little short possibly there, but you can see it didn't play out, which makes me think this is bullish. So I would be looking for another long, honestly. probably on Monday, even though the flows, because of bull flows. If there's any bull flows, they end up playing out like crazy lately. So check, check. Okay, so um, yeah, I look for something to happen below. I look for something to happen either back down below these lows, but I'd still need to see this leg terminate somewhere, which could be either back above these highs or some sort of SMT above this high. But yeah, a little tricky because there's no clear reason why we're reversing here yet, other than that, like we just dug up into a premium. So yeah, maybe on the smaller time frame, yeah, not much to really go off of. We just pulled back, unless this is a key level here. Not really, 7:30. So yeah, let's start. So yeah, it looks like that's the Sunday open. The Sunday we just basically gap up, quick move down to rebalance that. Whoa, huge move up. Um, so it looks like I would have missed this one. We didn't really do anything. We didn't take out lunch. No key levels. So yeah, not much here to like go off of for me getting into a long. So probably just skip Sunday's trading. And then there we go. So now we actually have done something different. And this is still all on Sunday. And looks like we're getting into close to Asia. So I bet there'd be like an Asian session. I mean, this will happen within 30 minutes. So it looks like we did take that high, but only really ES did. So I think we'd probably go higher still. Manufacturing liquidity right up there. That looks super clean. Let's just go to 15 minutes now. It's just too much clicking. So yeah, now we did take that high. So yeah, clearly taking the high. Nasdaq's taking it too. So yeah, we're just basically gonna wait for what happens on Monday. There's Asia, there's London now developing, and now it looks like London is basically over. So this is about when I should be looking at the charts in the morning. So yeah, we do have some relative equal highs up here at the high. Alright, I need to just take a quick break. I'm getting too distracted, I can tell. I've been going for a little bit actually on some stuff on. So yeah, just a sec. All right, got distracted, and now I'm back. Just because I've been going for about on some stuff. All right, so yeah, we got equal highs there. Who knows if we'll take those out or not, but we already do have SMT of possibly a key level. Um, and we actually have taken it out on these guys. So kind of a tricky one though, because I mean maybe if we zoom in, maybe there's something. News, just just look at last week's news. So yeah, we didn't have. Oh, and Monday was a holiday. Okay, this is just a waste of time. Forgot. Okay, let's skip this. Monday's a holiday. Boom. Skip Monday. Looks like there is a nice little manipulation there. Could have gotten short ES with really tight risk on this order block. Since this was the high, but this is the real high. So you could have gotten short there for a quick scalp. Not sure if that's a full reversal or not. Could be. Nice. So yeah, you could have held that if you wanted to. I mean, we did create relative equal lows, so it makes sense that we would deliver down into there. And now we're entering into Tuesday. And then we get a nice bounce. We come down in SMT after NASDAQ is the manipulator. We get a short down, and then we get a SMT of the London or the Asia session. And there's a long there. So you should look for, if you were to trade this Asian SMT, I mean, I don't ever do that, so I don't know why I'm looking for it. Okay. But yeah, we get a nice bounce. Now we've taken out the relative equal highs on just about everyone. So now let's skip towards the end of London. All right, so end of London. Here comes Tuesday. We've got some orange folders. Um, and I'm just crashing really hard right now. Might have to restart this stream, finish, or just record it and finish it. Yeah, I'll just do that after I get a little bit further. We've already done the majority of the work. It's just going through each day now. So yeah, we do have, looks like we do have like a little short possibly there. It's not something I would take. But yeah, maybe we'd just be looking for a deeper move up into the high. Oh, okay. Oh no, we gotta check that out. Okay, okay. So yeah, maybe another swing high. But yeah, just some sort of SMT at this high is what I'm thinking. Oh, and then there's the orange folder into 830. So into 830, we get a little pop down. Zoom in on the time frames. So yeah, this is no man's land for me. We're in the middle of a range with no key levels being hit. So I'd probably just sit out till the morning, and there it is. So there's the morning. There's the open right there. So the open, we come up here right before the open. We take out the news high. Cool. So I'm still not really interested. Everybody came up here and we did get a soup, and we did get SMT here on Russell with Dow Jones. So if anything, this was the short. So I'm actually gonna mark that up. I always am scared of these Russell Dow Jones shorts, but they really work really well. I need to stop being a scaredy cat. So literally we had S&T here, super easy money short. I mean, look at that risk reward, that's insane. Even if you got in even lower, still amazing risk reward. Hold for possible 50% or less, depending on anybody hits the levels. But the smart move would just be to target that, and boom, that's exactly what happens, and then we get a nice bounce. So yeah, that targeting this is not actually logical because we could just be getting a short-term trade, and the risk reward should have been amazing either way. So let's just say that is the trade there. That's the morning trade. Oh my gosh, sometimes the magnet is just the worst. So there's the Monday short on RTY manipulation, on RTY, Y and SMT into PO3 soup short. There you go. So there's the uncharacteristic short trade, whatever. And looky here, there's a long. So yeah, we get boom, YM SMT below these lows. So there you go. You could have bought ES or NASDAQ. You would just look for the order block buy, and you could even argue that you'd actually could look for a change in character here too. So you'd look for NASDAQ to be weaker here, or ES to be weaker here, versus the Dow into key time. So here's 9:30. 9:30, there we go. NASDAQ delivers deeper while it was the one holding the strongest. Easy buy there. I think I just messed that up. I think I was trying to long that, but there's the next trade there. Just buying the order block. Past 50%. So you could have just bought the order block, got a nice 2R there, or even just held it. But the ideal entry would have been possibly on just the dip. So as soon as we got close, I mean, you could consider this. Let's zoom in. We need to see this. So we didn't tap that order block. We need to look at a higher time frame. Maybe it's a higher time frame. I mean, that is very clear order block on ES. So it is kind of tough. So maybe what we would do is just be looking for, yeah, that SMT. I mean, I've traded on the 15-second many times. So here there is an SMT on both ES and NASDAQ when you compare them to Dow Jones. So here's the low, boom, and then we make a new low. And then even on NASDAQ we make an even lower low. So I honestly think you could have gotten your entry just anywhere in here on ES, risking the low. So the ideal trade would have actually been something like this. Even, I mean, even if you got a terrible entry and you chased it a bit, you still could have chased and got a crazy risk reward here. Just up into there, 4 hour, pretty good. So, or if you had some real conviction, you would have, yeah, looked for back above this high maybe, and you would have done something like buying the order block here, and then yeah, just back above the high, back above that high is 2R. So yeah, there you go. So multiple trade opportunities there. They're in the video. I'm not gonna screenshot anymore because that short was the easiest trade, I think. And I don't, the reason I don't trust it is specifically because I've been holding my trades way too long and I'm getting round tripping those shorts when initially they almost always play out, like probably 80%, if not 80, 70%. But 70% of the time, if I'm getting at least 2-3R, which is exactly what it does, and I'm holding for 5 and then round tripping it, it's like, what am I doing, dude? Like, I'm risking 2, now I'm getting rid of my edge there. So, but that's that's why I don't have as much confidence, and it's only because I've lost so many trades for the wrong reason, not because these don't work out, but because I'm holding them for too long. So yeah, um, sure, I'll just screenshot this as a possible long. So yeah, maybe there has something. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Okay. So the real short was on the Dow, right? Okay. So we took the short on the Dow into the weakness. We delivered that. We took profits, and guess what we get? We get a change in character here on the Russell. So I mean, there's a real trade there here. So maybe there's even something earlier. No. Okay. Well, there is one there, but it's a bit too late. But I mean, you still could have modeled something maybe into. No, it's a bit too late. Yeah. Never mind. But I mean, there is a trade there. Clear shift. YM comes down, dips real deep. Change in character SMT from the initial short. So you could have bought that order block and risked. You could have tightened up your risk too. You could have, because we did shift out of there very clean. You could have initially bought there. I don't know. That's tough. That's a tough one to say. You have to be maybe on the 5 minute. No, yeah, even that wick is just too scary. So yeah, just gonna have to miss that one, but it is there on the long. And then yeah, the flow on Monday. Monday is the 27th, or sorry, Tuesday. So Tuesday's flow literally opened up bullish. So price was down, and we literally SPY and Qs both everything's bullish that you'd want to see. So call puts being sold like right at the open is basically the clear reason to get long. Literally 5 minutes in the open, you would have had enough time to get long. So yeah, that should have been the trade. Should have at least made 2R and then taken off runners, above this high and then huge. I mean, I just probably would have gone all out there. So yeah, nice little like roughly 3R, 2.5R trade. Nice. All right, that's Tuesday. I'm just crashing really hard and I'm losing focus. So I'm just gonna go take a break and then come back and just record it on my own so that I don't lose focus on this because I do want to get out what I want to get out of it. All right. So yeah, but there's the new style. So yeah, here's the yeah.